Good morning, boys and girls. This is Miss Baker, and I'm coming from my art room at my house. And I hope that you have found yourself a comfortable spot to get in while we talk about what we're going to be working on this week. Now, it's going to be different this week because mom and dad or somebody at your house is going to help you do your papers. But Miss Baker is going to still read you your stories, and hopefully we can have a little fun while we're doing it. So this week we're going to be talking about the letter T. And I was just thinking I don't have all of my school stuff with me, so I'm going to have to make it up. And you can help me. We're going to work on the letter T, and we can make our own T with our fingers. This is the capital T, and lowercase t looks like this. And so those are the letters that we're going to be talking about today. So I have a few stories for you. The first one is going to be our letter story that we read every week. Remember, I have a letter story for you. And this one is I am a tricky turkey for the letter T. So let's go ahead and get started with Tricky Turkey. And this is the one that I have to figure out how to do it because it's kind of not working right. Once upon a time, there was a turkey and his name was Tricky Turkey. Now Tricky was a tan turkey with 10 feathers in her tail. I need to get my reading glasses because you know Miss Baker can't read without her reading glasses. So here we go. Let's get back to our story. Okay, now she had 10 feathers in her tail. She had 2 teeth and a tongue. She wore a tutu with a tie. Can you see her there? And she was called Tricky because she did all sorts of tricks. She could play a tambourine and dial a telephone with her toes. Can you dial the telephone with your toes? You don't dial a telephone anymore. Now you just push the buttons. So that would be easier. She could play a tambourine and dial a telephone with her toes. She could tumble. Imagine a tumbling turkey. Let's see. Okay. Many turkeys live with Tricky on the turkey farm. They like to play tag in teams, and sometimes they wore t-shirts so they could keep track of the teams. Tricky's team usually won the games because Tricky knew so many tricks. One Tuesday, a terrible tornado blew through the turkey farm. Everything was tossed, turned, tangled, twisted, and twirled about. Can you hear all those T words Miss Baker is saying? Here we go. When the tornado was over, Tricky found herself on top of an old taxi parked between 2 trees. She could not see any other turkeys or anyone else either. She tumbled off the top of the taxi, hopped inside, and used some tricks to get it started. Maybe she used her toes to turn the keys on the taxi. Tricky drove the taxi with her 2 toes. She took a tour of the area to see if anyone needed her help. What was this she saw? Why, it was a tower of turtles. She counted them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The tornado must have tossed them like that. Tricky took the turtles down one at a time, starting from the top. They were tired from being tossed in the tornado. Tricky told them to rest while she made them a treat. Tricky found a tablecloth, and some bread. Should be tacos instead of bread. Tacos starts with T. She fixed tasty toast and tea for the turtles. Now the turtles needed a new home to sleep in. Tricky looked and looked. Well, she made toast. Toast starts with a T, so that would work. At last, Tricky and the turtles found an old tent. The turtles tiptoed in and quickly fell asleep. And before long, you could hear the turtles snoring. Now, you can do this part with me because they're going to snore and we're going to go like the letter T. Do it again. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Okay. Tricky returned to her taxi. She drove it back between the two trees and went to sleep too. That's the end of our story. So, remember T, capital T, and lowercase t. So when you're sorting, you're doing your sorting paper and you're cutting out your letters, make sure you put them on the right side. Put all your capital T's on one side, all your lowercase t's on the other side. Remember Miss Baker and Miss Sproles, Miss Adrian, we love you very much. We want you to have a good time while you're at home. But do your work, and we'll see you soon. I love you. Bye-bye.